when you type an expression on the command prompt, the command line interface, the interpreter evaluates it. Actually, whereas an instruction is a portion of code, is a fragment of code, the Python interpreter can execute and produces some effect. It's a broad definition. Actually, almost everything is an instruction because it produces some some effect. For example, when you create a variable, so this is an instruction. This two, this one as well, and so on. So these are all variables. Sorry, instructions. Some examples. Let's do some review. Please create a variable with some decimal, a variable which stores some numeric variables with decimal digits. It's up to you. And then print which type of variable you get. Is it clear? So, don't you have your laptop? Oh, and you don't have? Sorry? Your laptop? Oh. Don't you have some computing facility? You should bring it with you. Okay. What? Okay. Any difficulty?
No. Now, easy.
Okay. Any problem? Did you install please, this is not a conversation. Outer. No, it is a number with some decimal digits, decimal places. What are you doing here? Only now? Cover your nose. Okay. What about you? Okay. Okay. So, you guys, we only know enough of the what about yours? I have a very okay. But you know, you cannot say no so here. It is not about the wheat. So, which political I will know that activity requires people to stay as close as possible, but you know, we are in a terrible situation. People is dying in millions all over the world. So we must adopt all the only terrible alternative is that we go back home and make distance lessons, online lessons. We can help. We can help. I'm an expert. Very well. So long. Okay. Very well. This is just but the only okay, online students, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Abdullah, have you carried out the review?
Sorry. What did you say, Professor?
You and all of you online students, do you know there is a lecture running?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, have you heard that I assigned a review? Just to be clear, not responding is not an answer, is not a solution. Leaving the class is not a solution. Disturbing in the classroom is not a solution.
Sorry, sir, we are not understanding you. That what you have assigned us.
Are you there?
Yes, sir. Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, Professor.
Please, which is your definition of online class?
Sorry, sir, we are not getting your point.
You're not getting my lecture. It's a shame having such a large crowd of inactive students. Are you sleeping, all of you?
No, Professor, we are taking lectures.
No, it's not the
Professor,
case.
yes,
Taking
yes,
lectures
we are
means
Oh,
you have
Professor, yeah.
you must be an active student, and being an active student means that you have to carry out a radius S sign, not sleeping. You are taking nothing. Good morning. Okay. I'm afraid this is not the hour for lecturing. Lectures begin at 9 sharp, more or less sharp, and not at 10. Okay. Okay, let's go on. For expressions, we adopt the same rules followed in mathematics as to operator precedence. So, for example, parentheses modify any precedence. I mean, it's the same rule you adopted when working in algebra or mathematics at large. The most important operator is the set of parentheses, then powers, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. This is the rule. And for example, 360 divided by twice pi to multiply pi, which result should produce in your opinion? The answer is it depends on what operator you use. There are two examples. I defined gradi as 360. Gradi is the Italian for degrees, okay? And pi is defined as 3.14159, okay? So if I simply translate this mathematical formula into Python instructions, gradi divided by 2 times pi, which is precisely what happens here in the mathematical expression, the result is this one, which is wrong. Because, give a look, if I want to divide 360 by 2 times pi, I predict slightly less than 60, okay? Because if you true value of pi with 3, for example, okay, you are dividing 360 by 6, which provides 60. And given that pi is larger than 3, you will get a number smaller than 60. Okay? So why do we get 565? Because what's actually with this expression, actually first divides, so we are dividing 360 by 2 and we get 180, and then multiply by pi. So this is the effect of multiplying 180 by 3.14, which is wrong. The right expression is this one, in which you first divide and you get 180, and then you divide the result again and you get 180 divided by 3.14. Okay? Unless you adopt parentheses. So the next review is calculate this ratio using parentheses for denominator, and of course get the correct result. Of course, this holds for online students as well. Are you there?
Yes, Professor.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Thầy đi bắt đứa nào ngủ gật.
Yes, there is one.
Have you done? All of you? Come on, why don't you be down there? Are you remember? All of you? You up there? Have you done? Sorry. Okay. Have you done? And of course, the normal greater than sign on the screen of the board refers to the command line interface. So they are not part of the Python instruction. Okay? Okay, very good. And this parentheses? Okay. So you must use parentheses in the wrong area. Okay, and now the online students, have you done?
Yes, sir.
Who's speaking? Please raise your hands. Okay. Vinay Arkala Chandra Shekhar Yoti, please share your screen and show me your solution.
Chết mẹ, chị còn đang chưa cắt.
Yes, Professor, 1 second.
Vinay, where are you? Okay, let's go on. Okay, you know, programming languages are usually integrated with comments. They which are lines or sets. Great solution. Which are lines or set of lines in which programmers describe what they are doing and they cover your nose, please. And they are usually intended as a reminder, as an help for other programmers. They are actually comments are very useful if first you don't crowd your code with meaningless, such as okay, this is an addition, this is a print. I mean, it's meaningless to use such comments. But if you use comments in points such as okay, with this for loop, I select, for example, the maximum of an array. In this part, in that case, they are very useful because they help you yourself. If you give a look at your code 6 months later, or other programmers in understanding what you have done. There are two types of comments in Python. The first one is the single line comment, which is defined using the this symbol, the hash symbol, and what happens is that you everything placed on the right of this symbol is ignored by the Python interpreter you are using. So what's on the right of this symbol is completely ignored, and therefore is regarded as a comment, as it is. You can place, you can use a line by itself. For example, this is a comment, and then let's say, for example, z equals 360, and then print z, for example. Nothing happens. So, or you can, this is another comment. Okay, nothing happens. 360 is still associated to z. If you print, nothing happens. So when you place this symbol, everything on the right, on its right, is regarded as a comment. This is the first solution. The second solution has to do with multi-line comments. What if you want to use comments on more than one line? In this case, you can use tribal double quotes, 3 double quotes as an opening symbol, and 3 double quotes as ending symbol, as closing symbol, and you can write this is a multi-line comment. Input insert x, which is a list. Output a tuple consisting of R and U, for example. And this is what happens. You can use double quotes or single quotes, but always use 3 of them. And this Jupyter convention, which is to print comments, but write a Python program displayed. you play program. Okay, have you a single line, multi-line comment? To online students as well. Is it clear for everyone? Python installations or smartphones are very limited. They lack a lot of features. They are intended for very minimal use. So at the beginning, sorry? Have you done? Any problem? All of you? Someone is not answering. Any problem with your laptop? What? Would you like to You have to type. Is it? No.
of the lab, always in the learning.
No, you should, this is an example, this is the output. This is an example of any problem? Okay. And what about the online students?
Finished?
Okay, please share your screen and show me what you have done.
Okay, here. Do you see?
Okay, here we are.
So here I have
yes.
comment. If I run, nothing wrong. Will
Very
happen.
well, very well. Thank you. Any other? Oh, great. 1 out of 15. A great success. Okay. And now a very important topic. Probably you already studied functions in other programming languages, example, or in other. Do you have any experience in other programming languages? Please raise your hands. Okay, thank you. For example, what have you studied? Sorry? Okay. Any other? Yeah. Okay. So already seen that there are other, they have other names, but they are subroutines, procedures. In Python we have actually two types of functions, but we have functions properly defined and methods, which are different stuff, and we later on, but now we focus on functions. What's a function? A function is a set of instructions which whose purpose is to produce some result, depending, of course, on the problem you are tackling, and this series of instructions there's an aim, and the primary goal is to avoid code repetitions, code duplications. Suppose that in your code you have to take a string, which is a sequence of characters. You have to convert all capital letters to lower letters, and you have to remove all blank spaces. So you have to stick all words into a single sequence, okay? For some strange reason. This set of operations requires some instructions. And suppose that in your program you have to repeat this procedure 3-4 times. Instead of writing or coding these instructions the first time and then copy and paste every time you need to repeat it, it's by far better to isolate this fragment of code in which you take the string, convert capital letters into lower letters, and remove all blank spaces to glue, to stick all words together in a separate space in your program, which is called function. Okay, and then you invoke this function every time you need. This has to do with the modularity of programs, which was an important cornerstone of evolution in coding techniques. Creating modules, creating building blocks of your programs allows you to avoid meaningless repetitions. Of course, what's the matter with repetitions? You simply select, copy and paste your piece of code everywhere you need it. Okay, so where is the difficulty? No difficulty, of course, but unless, for example, you find a bug in your fragment and you have to search all fragments to fix all the bugs. First, you have to update your fragment, and then you have to go through your program to searching for these fragments and update all the fragments. 3, you have to reuse your code, which is quite frequent. People never throws away their code. They always reuse them. I'm not joking, trust me. They are functions written 50 years ago. 50 years ago, okay, still working. People never drops code because coding some program needs a lot of time, a lot of you have to test it, you have to optimize, you have to check, you have to recheck, you have to update. People never throws away code. Okay, so from this perspective, if you are able to take some piece of code and box it to create a building block, okay, like a brick, you can adapt in every situation that requires that kind of brick, then you can reuse your code every time you need it. Okay, so this is why functions, modules, modularity, code modularity has been a fundamental cornerstone in programming languages evolution. Okay, so we'll see how to create our functions. For example, to carry out the task, take a string, convert into lowercase, remove or blank spaces, and return the resulting sequence of characters. But before that, we have to learn what strings are, how to work with strings, and even more important, how which string functions are available for programmers. Because before writing brand new functions,